Modern cars are packed with features that are supposed to make driving easier, but a lot of drivers are asking the same thing. Who actually asked for all this? Because some of these features do not make the car feel better. They make it more annoying, more distracting, more expensive, and sometimes harder to trust. The worst part is, many of them sound great until you are the one stuck using them every day. So today, we're going through 9 modern car features drivers hate more than ever. And make sure you stay for number 9 because that one explains why some upgrades only feel good until the repair bill arrives. Let's get into it. Number 1, touchscreen controls and infotainment screens that replace real buttons and knobs. This is probably one of the biggest modern car features drivers complain about. Touchscreens. Not because screens are always bad. A good screen for navigation, music, or a backup camera can be useful. The problem starts when car companies take basic controls and bury them inside menus. You want to turn the fan down? Tap the screen. You want the air warmer? Find the climate menu. You want to change where the air is blowing? Tap again. Miss the button because the car hit a bump? Now you are in some random settings page, wondering how your car became harder to use than your phone? That is what makes drivers angry. Older cars had buttons and knobs you could use by feel. You did not have to look down for everything. Your hand knew where the volume was. Your fingers knew where the fan speed was. You could keep your eyes on the road and still control the car. With some modern touchscreens, even simple things can demand your attention. And that feels backwards, because for years, drivers were told not to look at their phones while driving. Then car companies turned the dashboard into a giant screen and said, "Here, use this instead." That is why people hate it. Not because they are scared of technology, but because a car should be easier to use while driving, not harder. A flashy screen might look good in the showroom, but when you are on the highway, in traffic, trying to demist the windshield, or just turn the heat down, you do not want a digital treasure hunt. You want a button. Number 2, auto start stop systems that shut the engine off at the worst time. This feature sounds clever when it is explained to you. The car stops. The engine shuts off. You save a little fuel. The light turns green. The engine starts again. Simple. But a lot of drivers hate it the second they live with it. You pull up to a stop sign, the engine cuts out, you're waiting to turn across traffic. You see your gap, you touch the accelerator, and there is that tiny delay where the car has to wake itself back up before moving. It might only be a moment, but when you're trying to pull out, merge, or get moving quickly, that moment feels a lot bigger. That is why this feature annoys so many people. It can make the car feel jerky, hesitant, or just not ready when you are. And for drivers who like their car to respond straight away, that is frustrating. Then there is the long-term worry. More stopping, more starting, more demand on the battery, more wear on parts that already cost enough to replace. Maybe the system is designed to handle it. Maybe it saves fuel in certain situations. But many drivers still look at it and think, why is my engine turning off every time I stop for 2 seconds? That is the emotional part. It does not feel like the car is helping. It feels like the car is interrupting. And the worst bit is, some vehicles make you turn it off every single time you start the car. So even if you hate it, the car keeps bringing it back, like an annoying song stuck on repeat. That is why auto start stop has become one of those modern features drivers wish they could delete completely. Number 3, lane assist that fights the driver instead of helping. Lane assist sounds like a great idea. If the car thinks you're drifting out of your lane, it gives you a warning or gently nudges you back. In theory, that makes sense. But in real life, a lot of drivers find it annoying. Sometimes the car reads an old lane marking. Sometimes roadworks confuse it. Sometimes a narrow road makes the system panic. And sometimes you are already steering exactly where you need to go, but the car decides to join in like an overprotective driving instructor. That is when lane assist stops feeling helpful. It starts feeling like the car is fighting you. You move the wheel one way, the car gives you a little tug the other way, and suddenly you are not just watching the road, you are also arguing with a feature that thinks it knows better. That is what frustrates drivers. They do not mind safety features that help in the background. They mind features that interrupt them when they are already in control. And on some roads, especially country roads, roadworks, tight lanes, or faded markings, lane assist can feel more nervous than useful. The feature may be designed to prevent accidents, but if it makes the driver tense, annoyed, or distracted, that is a problem too. Because the best safety feature should help you stay calm and focused. It should not make you feel like you are wrestling your own steering wheel. Coming up, we've got more features that sound clever in the brochure, but can feel annoying, expensive, or just plain unnecessary once you actually live with them. And by the way, if you've ever used a modern car feature and thought, who asked for this? Hit the like button. Number 4, electronic shifters that makes simple gear changes feel confusing. This is one of those modern features that makes drivers ask, what was wrong with the old way? For years, shifting gears was simple: park, reverse, neutral, drive. You moved the lever, felt the position, and knew where you were. It was physical. It made sense. Now, some cars use buttons, dials, tiny switches, or strange electronic shifters that feel more like choosing a setting than controlling a vehicle. And that can be annoying, especially in a hurry. You are trying to reverse out of a tight spot. You are doing a quick 3 point turn. You need to move from reverse to drive. And instead of muscle memory taking over, you have to think about the shifter. Which button? Which direction? Did it actually go into gear? Why does reverse feel like using a hotel safe? That is what drivers hate. A basic action has been turned into something that can feel awkward. And when you are driving, awkward is not a good upgrade. Electronic shifters may save space, they may look modern, they may make the cabin look cleaner, but a gear selector is not something most drivers wanted reinvented. It was one of those things that already worked. And when something already works, changing it just to look futuristic can feel like fixing a problem nobody had. That is why electronic shifters annoy so many drivers. They remove the old simple feeling of knowing exactly what gear you are in. And sometimes that old simple feeling was the safest part. Number 5, subscription features that make drivers pay again for things already built into the car. This one makes drivers furious because it does not feel like an upgrade. It feels like a trick. You buy the car, you pay for the trim level, you pay for the parts, the hardware is already sitting there in the vehicle, but then the company still wants a monthly fee to let you use it. That is where people draw the line. Drivers can understand paying for something that costs the company money every month, like live traffic, satellite radio, or some connected service. But paying again for a feature that is already built into the car, that feels different. That feels like being charged rent on something you already bought. And once car companies realize people will pay monthly fees inside the car, where does it stop? Remote start, heated seats, driver assist, extra power, navigation. The fear is not just one subscription. The fear is that the whole car starts turning into a payment plan with wheels. That is why drivers hate this feature so much. Because buying a car should feel like ownership, not a free trial that expires after 90 days. Number 6, electronic parking brakes that remove the old simple handbrake. The old handbrake was simple. You pulled it up, you felt it engage, you knew it was on. If you needed to release it, you pressed the button and put it down. Done. Now, in many modern cars, that simple lever has been replaced by a small electronic switch. It looks cleaner, it saves space, it feels modern, but a lot of drivers do not like it because the old handbrake gave you feedback. You could feel what it was doing. The electronic one just clicks, whirs, and hopes everything works. And when it does not work, the problem can get expensive. A simple cable and lever has turned into motors, sensors, modules, and service modes. Even a basic brake job can become more complicated because the parking brake may need to be put into a special mode before the work is done. That is what annoys drivers. A part that used to be simple has been turned into another electronic system. And not every driver asked for that. Some people miss the old handbrake because it felt direct. It felt mechanical. It felt like something you controlled. The electronic parking brake might be fine when it works, but when it fails, freezes, sticks, or needs special tools, it makes people wonder why the simple version ever had to disappear. Coming up, the last 3 features are where the frustration gets more serious, because now we're talking about the things that can affect your trip, your patience, and your wallet. Number 7, tire repair kits, replacing real spare tires. This is one of those modern changes that sounds fine until the day you actually need it. Years ago, if you opened the trunk, there was usually a spare tire, maybe full size, maybe not perfect, but at least it was something. If you got a flat, you had a real backup. Now, a lot of newer cars come with a tiny compressor and a bottle of sealant instead. Car companies say it saves weight, they say it saves space, they say it helps fuel economy. But drivers hear something very different. They hear, we took away the thing that could actually get you home because a tire repair kit only helps in certain situations. If you have a small puncture, maybe it works. But if the tire is shredded, the sidewall is damaged, or you hit something hard on the road, that little bottle of sealant is not going to save your day. And that is why people hate it. You are not thinking about weight savings when you are stuck on the side of the highway. You are thinking, why did this car not come with a spare? Even worse, that sealant can sometimes make the tire harder or more expensive to repair properly later. So now the driver may be stuck with a tow, a new tire, and a lot of anger toward whoever decided a can of goo was good enough. This is one of those features that feels like a benefit for the car company more than the driver. Because when you are stranded, you do not want a clever compromise. you want a spare tire. Number 8, too many sensors, warnings, and beeps that make the car annoying to drive. Modern cars love to warn you. They beep when you reverse, beep when you park, beep when someone is near you, beep when you drift, beep when you open the door, beep when the seatbelt is not happy, beep when the car thinks you should take a break. At some point, the car starts to feel less like a vehicle and more like a smoke alarm with wheels. Now, some warnings are useful. Nobody is saying safety alerts are pointless. A blind spot warning can help. A parking sensor can stop a bump. A seatbelt warning makes sense. But the problem is when the car warns you so often that you stop listening. That is what frustrates drivers. When everything is urgent, nothing feels urgent. A driver might hear another beep and think, what now? And instead of feeling safer, they feel annoyed, distracted, or even more stressed. Some systems are also too sensitive. They panic over a leaf. They complain in tight car parks. They yell at you in roadworks. They act like every normal drive is a full emergency. That is why drivers hate this feature. Not because they want unsafe cars, but because they want warnings that actually mean something. A good safety alert should get your attention when it matters. It should not nag you so much that you want to turn the whole car off and walk. Number 9, features that make the car more expensive to repair than drivers expected. This is the one that brings the whole thing together. Because a lot of modern car features do not seem that bad when everything is working. The screen works, the sensors beep, the cameras help, the electronic systems do what they are supposed to do. And in the showroom, it all looks impressive. But the real test comes later when something breaks. That is when drivers find out the feature they barely cared about can suddenly become part of a very expensive repair. A small bump in the bumper might involve sensors. A cracked windshield might involve camera calibration. A dead screen might affect more than just the radio. A simple warning light might need a scan tool, a software reset, or a dealership visit. And that is what makes people angry, because they did not ask for half of this stuff. But when it fails, they still have to pay for it. That is the dark side of modern car features. They might be sold as convenience, safety, or luxury, but every extra system adds another thing that can break. And when it does, the bill does not care whether you actually wanted the feature in the first place. That is why drivers hate these modern features more than ever. Not because every new idea is bad, but because too many of them make cars more annoying to use, more complicated to fix, and more expensive to own. And at some point, you have to ask, is this really an upgrade? Or is it just another way to make a simple car cost more? If one of these modern car features made you think, yep, I hate that one too, hit the like button. And tell me in the comments which modern feature annoys you the most, because I know drivers have strong opinions on this one. Subscribe to Pro Car Tips and Tricks for more honest car videos that say what drivers are already thinking. Click the video on the screen next, and I'll see you over there.